background, there's a red German Nazi flag behind me. What it was is we did sound check, we went home to get dressed, and on the way back, we were at this faraway stop in the middle of it, and there was some guy on the corner that was selling flags from all over the world. And they didn't have a Spanish flag. They just had odds and ends stuff. I thought that one looked the coolest, you know what I mean? And that's the reason I bought it. I'm in no way Nazi sympathizer or anything, okay? And but I bought that because it was just red with the black on it. But that was the only time I ever used it. And on this show, and they actually took the picture from that show. But when this album went on sale in Germany, they blackened out my background.
Oh. Oh wow.
So the German album doesn't have the flag in the background.
That I would sense that is really controversial to the German version.
Huh?
I would sense that would be really controversial for Germany to have that.
Yeah. I didn't. Like I said, man, I just bought it on the spur of the moment all the way to the gig because I just thought it was the coolest one there. You ever seen the Italian flag?
Yeah, I have seen the Italian flag.
It's got red, white, and yellow, green stripes, and it's not very cool, dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they didn't have an American, they didn't have a Spanish, so I just thought, well, fuck, I'm just gonna buy something. And cause we were gonna drape them over the amps, and so I bought that one and didn't even think about it, man. As soon as I was done with the gig, I got rid of it. You know what I mean? I think I left it there even or something, but it ended up on the back of the album, and then it went to Germany, and a big old hoopla happened over that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of strange, but that's a Juggernaut story right there.
What about the studio? What actually happened in the studio while you were recording Baptism Under Fire? Like, can you tell me some stories of what happened in the studio?
It's not, what it was is Bob Catlin, he was actually the original guitarist of Juggernaut. I don't know if you know him or not, but you might,
yeah.
or Dad might. And he called me, he says they were looking for a second guitarist. So when I showed up for the very first practice, right before practice, he called Scott, the bass player, and he told him, I'm not coming back. So from day one, I was like the only guitarist. So I had to learn all the music and write all my leads in 2 weeks before we recorded the album. So that's why a lot of those leads on that first album are right off the top of my head. You know what I mean? I just kind of winged it.
And were you kind of nervous of recording it while you were learning it at the same time?
No, because that's how I used to practice and I learned to play guitar is once I started getting the first year or two when I first started getting my structures down, like how to, where to go from here to there in order to create a lead and stuff. Once I got that down, I would take every song I played on the radio, I would play a lead along with it and try and stay in key. You know what I mean? Yep. So I'm already proficient. I can write decent stuff right off the top of my head. It's what I'm feeling at the time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, I can't read music. You know what I mean? I have no idea what I'm playing or doing, but I just happen to move my hand to the right spot and it comes out right. You know what I mean? Yep. So, but I learned enough of the neck to understand if you're here, you go there. So, I mean, I'm pretty. Yeah, I just throw it off the top of my head, and it works out okay. You know what I mean? It works out. So, in fact, some of the better leads I write are off the top of my head than trying to structure it because it takes me forever, Paul. Yeah. I can write a lead and I can spend the next 2 weeks on one note. One note. I'll keep playing it and then change the note. Play it and change the note. And I'll do that over and over again until I find the right one, dude. I never stopped finishing my lead. I never actually finish it. I just got to be satisfied at one point.
How did the band actually got into Metal Blade Records, or were you around at that time when they got in there?
We recorded that In the Blood of Virgins for the Metal Massacre album on Metal Blade, and then we recorded 5 songs as a demo. And this is before we got on Metal Massacre. We recorded 5 songs in the studio for a demo, and we just started sending them out to a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I don't know how many we sent out, 50. maybe more than 50. But
Back
you
in
know,
the
some I found somebody sent me a link one time about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, and somebody was selling that demo tape online, and they wanted $495 for it. I was like, damn. Well, we only have so many of them. You know what I mean? I don't even have one. Yeah, I don't even have it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think that's ridiculous though. You know what I mean? $495, but I guess, man, if you want it, you could buy it. But yeah, we just sent out tapes, demos to everybody, and Metal Blade said they liked it, and they give us so much. I forgot how much they gave us, like 2,500 for the first album, and so we went. We did. We put the Inner Blood of Virgins first on the Metal Massacre album. It's a compilation of different bands. They all play one song, so.
I think it was in Metal Massacre 7.
Yeah, Metal Massacre 7. And so we did that. We did In the Blood of Virgins on there, which on Trouble Within turned into Trouble Within.
What is the reason that Blood of Virgins was not in the first album?
I don't know if we left it off on purpose or else we only had so much time allotted to record the album, and we didn't have time to put that one on there. But I think we left it off on purpose. Because we already put it on this, we already had it on this album. We didn't want to put it on the other album also. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then that's what I think. That's what happened. You know what I mean? Because I know we would. I mean, we had plenty of time to record everything, so I know that's not it. But yeah, we left it off because we already had it on this album. We didn't want to. We wanted room to put another song also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was all right. That was cool. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did that album in, 12 hours or something? No, it was longer than that. 21 hours, 22 hours, I think.
Jeez.
We stayed there, we got there in the morning, and we stayed there until 5 o'clock in the morning or some shit like that, you know what I mean? And we did the whole thing all at once, so.
Oh.
Yeah, we ran through it. Someone would go get us lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man, you know what I mean? And snacks and shit. Well, we just stayed there and kept recording, man.
May I ask you about one song that was not even listed, but it's actually in the vinyl itself? HoneyBun.
HoneyBun, yes. Yes, that's a parody of a country song. And on Trouble Within, there's a parody of a rap song on there, but it's not listed either.
Oh.
Yeah, there's another one. There's the same thing on the second album. At the end of the album, but it's not listed either, but it's a parody of a rap song instead. That one's pretty cool too, man. We're just making fun of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And just like on the back of her head. What do you say? I need a woman that looks like a pig, something, you know what I mean? It's a parody. It's just like knocking off on it, dude. And the second album's a rap one. A rap version like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just a little gimmick, I guess we were doing. You know what I mean? It was just a gimmick.
Was it actually a cover? Kind of curious.
No, we didn't pick. It wasn't after a specific because Scott actually wrote it, and because he's into like a lot more music than I am. But yeah, he just wrote it. It's just a general country song. That's all.
Oh.
It wasn't trying to follow any other like real song or nothing.
I think the funniest part in the song is when he actually says, "One more time from the stupid people."
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're putting. If you listen to it, we're putting people down. You know what I mean? But
that was funny.
If you're a redneck, you're looking for that woman that looks like a pig, son. Really?
Yeah.
So we're just making fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of us are against country or nothing like that. It's just making. And on the rap one, we make fun of the black people rap. It's like, I'm an Alabama porn smoker. He's looking for fun. I got this way from drinking Blue Nun. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just making fun of stuff. It's lighthearted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick that we decided to do. On the first one we just thought it was really cool, so we did on the second one too. So
yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of cool though.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on the cover of both albums. Not many people know that.
Was that?
That's me on Baptism. On Baptism, that's me with all the helmet on and shit. And then on Trouble Within, those are my eyes on the front. Yeah,
that's actually awesome.
And that's kind of funny because I don't think I'm very photogenic. You know what I mean? I really don't like pictures, but sure ended up on both albums.
How did they actually make the first? How did they actually make the first album cover? Like, how?
They made up. There was a table, and they put all that gravel down and stuff, and then they posed me at the photography studio, and then they posed me certain ways, and we took like different angles and different shots. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then we just went through and picked But I was standing up, but I had to like bend over and lay the top part of my body on the table to make it look like I was laying down. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And yeah, they just took a bunch of pictures and we picked the right angle, whatever one we wanted. You know what I mean?
Did they actually paint? Did they actually paint your hands red, or was that even a makeup, or what was that on your hand?
Let me see. Yeah, that's blood. It was fake blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was fake blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that gun and that gas mask were actually real.
Ooh.
Harding's he was back then a World War II buff, and now that's what he does for Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He's he does that. He does war stuff for authentication for Hollywood movies, for like especially war stuff, World War II things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but those were real, and I damn near died in that mask because the filter doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Yeah, the filter didn't. You couldn't suck any air to it, man. So it took me like every 2 minutes, man. I had to come up for air. You know what I mean?
Every 2 minutes you had to put it on and then just take it off.
Yeah, every couple of they could take. I'd put it on and then I'd get in position, and they would take like maybe 3 or 4 photographs, and I'd have to get up and take the mask off so I could breathe. Because I was totally. I actually had to hold my breath and stuff in there. I couldn't breathe at all.
Damn.
It was kind of sucked actually. You know what I mean? I wasn't liking it at all, man. But the stuff you got to do, I guess, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, actually it was pretty cool though. And on the second album, they actually hired some guy that was in a punk band, and he's supposed to be some crazy dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, no, this guy's wild. So they spent 3.5 hours trying to take a picture of his eyes. And it wasn't working. And finally I got mad about 12 o'clock at night. I was like, what do you want? What are you looking for? They said, we just want these 2 evil eyes. I said, okay. And I sat down in the chair. I looked at them. I took a deep breath, and I said, okay, go. And I looked in the camera, and they took the picture, and that's what's on the cover.
Wow. You just actually had to be
I got
pissed
tired
off
of
to
waiting,
the guy
man. This guy wasn't
shot.
coming. They want that crazy look. Well, I gave him a crazy look. You know what I mean? Yeah, in fact, a couple of people freaked out. They're like, damn, that's scary. Yeah.
Wow.
I just put on my mad face, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but that's how that worked out, dude.
Well, I guess you had to be angry at some point to get the
yeah,
shot.
well, I was angry, man. We were there for 3.5 hours, dude. It was 12 o'clock at night, and I was hungry, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm like, man, like, really, dude? How much longer, man? How much longer? I said, what are you looking for, man? Finally, I stood up and just told him, like, what do you want and what are you looking for, man? Just tell me. And, well, this is what we want. I said, okay, not a problem. I sat down, turned around, looked at the camera, I said, ready, go. And they took the picture, and first time, one picture, that's all they took, one picture.
Wow, that's awesome.
So,
that's awesome.
yeah, that's kind of a cool little story, too, you know what I mean? I wasn't even supposed to be on the second one, but damn it, man, ain't nobody can do their job, dude. You know what I mean? They actually paid the other guy, too. I'm like, damn, I think they gave him fucking $150 to do this, and he just didn't do it, I guess.
Oh.
Just because you're a punk, man, doesn't make you that crazy, you know what I mean?
Yep. What about the live shows? I have seen a couple of videos of when Barry actually throw in some live rats in the audience.
Oh yeah, no, that was my very first show with Juggernaut. Or our very first show, because actually they never played before me either. But yeah, that was our very first show. It was I think it was on Halloween, and we played at this it was an all day thing. There was like 12 bands, Watchtower was there and shit. And but yeah, it was at this high school down here. And it was Halloween, and the very last song, we have this song called The Rack, which never showed up on any album. And at the end of the song, I'm doing this big long read with my whammy bar and stuff. and they let the rats loose on stage. And then the next thing I know, I saw them flying through the air, and the people in the audience, we were pushing in the audience, and they were throwing them back at us. So we picked them and started throwing them back at them. So rats, there was like 13 rats flying all over the place, dude.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a little bit of trouble with that. We didn't get in any trouble, but we had people upset about it. The Humane Society.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're like, oh well, you know what I mean? And then we also did one time we got in trouble. We were doing an Alice Cooper medley, and part of it was a dead baby. So we took like a baby doll, and we shoved it full of spaghetti and blood livers and cow livers and cow bloods. And then in the middle of the song, Harlan took a saw and he cut it in half and he held it over the audience and shit. You know what I mean? And there's guts of spaghetti and shit flying everywhere.
Wow.
We got a lot of they tried to get us in trouble for that one too. We're like, nah, whatever, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just for a fucking show, really.
It's all it is. It was a plastic doll with spaghetti in it, man. You know what I mean? So get the fuck jump off, dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we didn't really care, man. We didn't really care what anybody thought, man. That's the whole point. But yeah, the rats and the baby, man. Those two things that that was pretty cool, man. You know?
Yeah.
That was. But the rats, man, everybody was throwing them back and forth. I was like, I didn't realize it until one hit. I was playing my lead and one hit my guitar. And I looked down and it was a fucking rat. Right? They were laying down in front of me. So I was playing my lead, so I kicked it back to the audience. You know what I mean? And I looked up and the rats were flying everywhere, dude, back and forth between the audience and Harlan and Scott. You know what I mean? That was pretty cool, dude. That was pretty.
Did some rats actually survived in the high school, and the high school was infested by rats?
I don't know. I remember. I think one did because somebody told me that one got away or something. Oh. But the ones that are being thrown back and forth, no, they were already gone. They were already dead. That's what scares me is we threw them in the audience live, and then they were throwing them back, and they were already dead, man. I was like, damn. rough crowd, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Rough crowd, but yeah, that was pretty cool, man. Now, and a lot of people remember that about the rats. So yeah, it was just a Halloween thing, you know what I mean? Wow. Yeah, that's
according to the Metal Blade letter, they were talking about the live tour shows that you were doing to promote the Baptism Under Fire. And I saw I did saw some of those, and I did saw a few glimpses of where Barry is entering in a coffin, and then he comes out in the coffin and sings Impaler.
Oh, Harlan? Yeah, Harlan. Yeah, he used to come up in a coffin every show. From the back of the auditorium, they would bring him down the aisle. 6 pallbearers in a coffin. And then they put it on stage, and then he'd pop out, and we started doing it. I mean, playing, and wow, I forgot all about that.
It was it actually one of those shows where you actually wear some costumes and then just play some music? There were
no. I don't know if you can see it on the album. Let me see. Hold on. No, you can't see it. I don't have it on over here. Some of our later shows, I'm wearing a red Dracula cape or a red and black Dracula cape made out of satin. Because Harlan was going to have just a black cape made for a show, and he told me about this girl, this seamstress he knew, and she said she would make me a cape. So I've got a real black and red satin Dracula cape.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not those little cloth ones you find at the store. This is real shit. She only charged me $75. It's probably worth about $200, but. So I wore that for many shows, man. I still got it. It's hanging up right over here, in fact, right behind me.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's faded now, but yeah, it's a real Dracula cape, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fucking cool, actually. Wow, maybe I was fucking no. I was just saying maybe I should take that for the raffle, but I want to keep that.
Was there any other interesting stories on those gigs while you were promoting the album?
Well, I remember one time we were playing at the Cameo Theater down here, and we were live, the last band, headliner, and we played like 3 or 4 songs, and then all of a sudden the power went out.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And they started, people trying to ask around and stuff like that. And what it was, the owners cut off the power because they said it was 12 o'clock and we couldn't play after that. Well, they never told us that.
Wow.
They never said nothing. You have to stop by 12. And so, everybody was like, oh, man. Well, I was still on stage right there, and that closest wall to me, I fucking took my steel-toe boot. Mm-hmm. I used to wear 16-inch steel-toe boots. And I fucking put my boot through that fucking wall and left a big old hole. I was like, motherfucker. So we went back to the dressing room, and I started getting really mad about it. And I can't believe they didn't tell us, and then they just cut us off like that. And so I was drinking a beer, and I took the beer bottle, and they had this long mirror. You could look in and put your makeup on or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I took that bottle and I smashed it against it. And it's not my prouder moments, okay? I'm not a violent person. I don't.
Yeah.
I was if I get mad, there's going to be a reason, Paul, you understand? And I was mad. I was really mad, and I was like, fuck these people. You understand? Excuse my French.
Yeah.
And because that was wrong. You know what I mean? That was wrong, man, for them to do that. So they had to pay for the wall and the mirror.
Wow.
As far as I'm concerned. We didn't pay for it. I didn't know, but none of us paid for it. I said, I ain't paying shit. Packed my shit, I left. Fuck you. You know what I mean? You cut us off, and, well, there you go.
In bands, they call it sabotaging the gig, and the owner of the club actually, was it a club or was it
I don't know. No, it was a theater.
Oh.
It was called the Cameo Theater. They used to show movies there, but then they turned it just into like a gig joint. It had movie theater style seats, going down, and then they had a big stage. So it was a big enough stage to play on, and you can get a lot of people in there.
Oh.
Maybe 1,000 or something packed. So yeah, it was a pretty cool gigging place, man. I actually liked it.
So the owner of the theater sabotaged your gig in 12 in the morning. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And I have no idea why. Nobody knows why. Scott was the one talking to him, being the bass player, but he never said to me. He said he never told me that. And so yeah, I think that was pretty cruddy, man.
Yeah.
You don't tell these people. You don't tell these people to. You stop by 12, and then they fucking just cut it off, dude. They didn't come up to us or nothing. All of a sudden, the whole power went out in the whole building. I was like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, that's unacceptable, man.
Yeah, that is really unacceptable.
Yeah, that's not the way you do business, man. So.
Exactly. That's not how you treat your guests at all.
Yeah, man, that's just trash. You know what I mean? Straight trash. So that's why I trash their shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just tit for tat. You know what I mean? An eye for an eye, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did it on. What I'm saying is, I did it on purpose for them to have to pay for something, okay? Because we just paid by you cutting it off. Well, you got to pay now too, and I didn't just do it just to be violent or just to break something. I was like, I was in his dressing room. I was like, well, you know what? If fucking they did that to us, then they're gonna have to pay for this, and that's when I broke the mirror. You know what I mean? Man, no wonder I got such bad luck, dude. I broke a 12-foot mirror or 10-foot mirror, whatever the hell it was. I just realized that. Damn, Paul. Man, no wonder I got such bad luck, dude. That's a big mirror.
You know what they say, once you break a mirror, bad luck comes to you. And look.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that saying. Now that I think about it, man, I don't know how many mirrors I broke in my life, yeah. I'm starting to think, man, you got me tripping now. Yeah, I've broke quite a few, I guess, man, but...
Oh, man. Of Juggernaut, yeah.
What
was the reason why he was out of the band when you were recording the second album?
He didn't want to... I don't know. He didn't want to do it. I think he was about to go to Los Angeles, to Hollywood. And he thought, just more. That's his career. That's his life. So, he wanted to go to California and get there and stuff. So, but then me and the bass player and the drummer, we talked about it. I mean, Venom Blade was giving us the money anyways to record. So, and Scott was the bass player was about to go to Austin, and the drummer was about to go tour with Judas Priest. So we all decided, you know what, since they're giving us the money, man, let's record this album, dude. Let's just record it, man. We're not going to gig or nothing. We're going to break up after we do it. But he goes, let's record it anyways. So that's why we did it, man. And that's why we had to find another singer. Because we were, and I guess everybody was going to move on, Paul.
Yep.
But Harlan did, but the rest of us decided, let's record the album anyway since they're giving us some money, and then we'll move on.
Then that's when Steve Cooper came in. He was known.
Yes.
He was actually known for Narita, the demo band for Thundersteel, the Thundersteel lineup in Riot 5.
Yeah, well, he was also an S.A. Slayer down here.
Yep.
He got pretty popular, but
yep.
yeah, he's been around. He was deep in the scene. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Already, he was one of the better. He was one of the better singers and definitely probably the most popular in San Antonio. You know what I mean at the time. So we decided to ask him because he was the man. You know what I mean? He was the singer San Antonio that everybody wanted to have. So we asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Mm-hmm.
And so it worked out all right. You know what I mean?
Personality? Yeah, personality.
That's kind of a funny question because me and Harlan we got along okay, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a reason that he was, how do I say this, man? Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't tell everybody this, okay? It's not a big deal either, you know, because actually a lot of people know it. But back then, I was studying like different religions and philosophies, you know, which included the occult, you know, occult knowledge, which is hidden knowledge, not devil knowledge, hidden knowledge, okay?
Yeah.
So I was studying a lot of stuff to educate myself, you know what I mean? I mean, I was studying about Hinduism, Buddhism, and just ancient religion. I mean, I was just really getting into a lot of stuff like that. And so I was really studying the occult stuff, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And black and white, you know what I mean? The black side, the white side, where I was studying all of it. And Harlan was always trying to be the evil one, you know what I mean? And but it was just an act. So I was kind of like, he knew I'd look at him with that evil stuff, and I was like, man, really? You know what I mean? Because he knew I was for real, and he knew he was fake. You know what I mean? that's the best way I can put it, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was a pretend evil, now I really was. so now, but then we got along great. It just that's the only friction we had. He felt uncomfortable around me when he was trying to have that persona. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he finally gave it up. You know what I mean? He just wasn't feeling good about it. But yeah, we got along great. Bobby got along great. Me and Scott clash heads a lot because he's a liberal and I'm not. But
oh gosh.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean that's a funny story because I didn't know. Me and Scott have clashed more than anybody in the band. I guess because we both play the stringed instruments and we're both songwriters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he just got a different view of everything. So we just didn't agree on a lot of stuff. It never became like really negative. We disagreed on a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And but I didn't find out he's a liberal until last year. Now I know why we disagreed. Now and it makes sense. So that's how bad we would argue, and that's how many discussions and arguments we had over stuff like how to play the song, what part, the sound of the music, all this. And we always clashed. And now that I think about it, when I found out he's a liberal, that's exactly why. It's the same problem they have now. That Republicans and Democrats, they have their problem. Well, that's the same reason we used to fight like that.
Yeah.
And now I know why. When he told me that he was a liberal, when I realized he was a liberal, I started laughing. It's like, that's why we don't get along. You know what I mean?
Because of political
views. I'm not really a Republican or a Democrat, but I'm definitely not a liberal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I understand.
I think they're corny, man. With the stuff that they want, they talk about how they're planning their society and shit, man. Fuck that. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, then I realized that, and man, it made all the sense in the world, dude. It made all the sense in the world, man. Why we just never got along.
Yeah.
There was never we never had a fight in the band ever. Like an argument, like a real loud yelling like a fight like that.
Yeah.
Not physical, but like that with words. We never even had that, man. Everybody always kept their voice down, and we get along great, man. Actually. We really got along good for a band.
So you
Plus, I guess the other
kept
reason
the
is that
views to themselves.
nobody else did drugs or smoked pot. You know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah, and that's good. But I was at the time. You know what I mean? I was smoking a lot of pot back then, so I guess I was the pothead or the drug in the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But everybody, they all could drink though. Everybody, like Scott, could keep up with me drinking. I used to drink back then too. Not so much now, but yeah, I just had my own little angle and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep.
But it was cool. We had different personalities in the band that really meshed well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Bobby was kind of he came from a country band. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He just got done playing and touring with the country band when we picked him up, and he played with us. And Scott was always trying to be the senior advisor, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? And I don't get along with managers very well.
Yeah, understandable. Understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta prove yourself to me. If you want me to follow you, if you're gonna be my leader, then you better prove it, okay? If you can't, then I have no respect for you. And it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a problem with authority sometimes, Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have one. I was about to ask, how did Metal Blade treated the band?
Metal Blade?
Yeah, Metal Blade.
All right, I guess. I mean, the contracts weren't very lucrative. You know what I mean? I mean, I made money. We made money off the 2 albums. We actually took it to a lawyer, the contract they sent us before we signed, and he goes, "It's not all that good." He goes, "But basically, it is standard procedure when you're first signing with the label." So we weren't really getting screwed out of it. You know what I mean?
Much like Riot did in their business. Sad.
The what?
The Riot, the original band from
Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, once you get the lawyers, once you get established, that's when people start making the money. He goes, but you know, if they're going to give you money for the first album, he goes, this is an average contract. So you know what I mean? So Metal Blade made more money than we did, but you know, we still made some. I mean, I don't know how much I made. Maybe $8,000, $10,000. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
Not a lot. Yeah, it's not a lot, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we sold, I think, about almost 300,000 copies all over the world. So.
Well, according to
yeah, it wasn't even about the money at that point.
According to Discogs, there were a version from the Netherlands. There was one in Germany that they censored your T-shirt. There were versions, vinyl versions that were released in the Netherlands. And that was released by Blade Runner Records. And
honestly, I don't know how they distributed it or how that came about. You know what I mean? I don't know how they did the marketing thing at all. You know, I'm not sure where they sold it at, or you know what I mean. I know we sold a lot in Germany. We're more popular in Germany.
Yeah.
Than anywhere else. Than even here. I mean, we're considered gods over there, man. We sold more albums over there, and we're more popular over there than we are over here.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they consider us gods over there, dude. I don't know. I mean, just, you know, a lot of times you'll see bands like that. Some bands will have a certain country that likes them more. You know what I mean? Like, Kiss was really big in Japan. They loved Kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's other bands that are, you know, real popular in England and, you know, so, but ours was Germany, man. We fucking sold a lot of albums there. In fact, 2 years ago, I got a friend over there, and he wanted us to play the Keep It True Festival. Which is about 30 or 40,000 people. They have it every year. They have like a bunch of bands, like a two-day thing with a bunch of bands. They want us to play that, but it never came about. You know what I mean?
You couldn't make it. You couldn't make it.
That's another long story, Paul. Because I've been trying to get Juggernaut back together for 5 years now, I guess. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I guess 4 or 5 years. And Harlan and the singer and the bass player, they taken their sweet time and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair with them, the bass player lives in Austin, and Harlan lives in Los Angeles.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they did take their time. I think they could have did a lot more quicker. but they were taking their sweet time. It took me 2 years before we actually got together and practiced the first time. I'm like, wow, they could have did that a lot. They could have did it after the first year.
Yep.
So yeah.
So the band is just trying to get together, just slowly but surely.
Yeah, Harlan. Yeah, he lives in Los Angeles, dude. He works for Hollywood.
And Bobby is actually working in other bands. He's just performing with other bands.
Yeah.
And you are battling cancer, which is understandable. So,
yep.
Yep. And what was Scott,
the bass player?
Yeah, the Scott.
He works in Austin for a record label. He's got a couple of bands up there. One's kind of a country band, one's a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, so I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I was so frustrated it was 2012, I think, when I put myself through rehab. Because I just drank a lot and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just getting, I just didn't like. It was getting really sloppy. I didn't like it. I don't like getting drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like drinking beer, but I don't like getting drunk. Okay, I like getting sexual stout. You know what I mean? I like the flavor of beer and shit. You know what I mean? That's my favorite beer. So I like beer. I like dark beers and stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was getting really. I lost my job and I kept filing. I was getting just really drunk and sloppy. So fuck this. So I went through rehab and when I was in rehab, I decided that you know what, I'm gonna get Juggernaut back together. And it was 20 years already since we played together. We even saw each other basically. And I said, I'm gonna get them back together. So when I got out, that was my goal, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's my reward for doing what I had to do, go through rehab and stuff. And I wanted to get them together. And I tried so hard, man.
I know James is up to it, and I know that he is writing.
Yes, I know, but it's a little bit kind of late because I tried for 4 years, dude, and Scott the bass player or Harlan. I know they live far away, but they just taking their sweet time. So actually, last year I gave it up. You know what I mean? Scott still thinks that it's going on, but as of right now, it's not. What I decided to do is I was going to form a band with the drummer, Miguel Morales, our new drummer, the one I've got now, but I was going to form an original band with him because I started writing original music. So I was coming up with brand new music and everything for a brand new band instead of trying to do Juggernaut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this much, Paul. When I got out of rehab, it took me a whole year. I had to relearn the whole album. So every day for hours, I would sit there in my room and playing Baptism Under Fire, having to relearn all my leads or else write new ones. You know what I mean? So I put a lot of work into it. It took me over a year. And then after that, it just nobody wanted. Man, we could have opened up for UFO and Saxon down here. We could open up for Udo when he came down here, and we had a bunch of chance to open up for people, big gigs. And Sky, the bass player, was every time I was like, I don't think so. You know what? That's not our music. And you know what? He played the liberal part, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this dude. So last year I decided I was going to form a new band. So and then this happened. So I'm not sure where I'm at now. But
what about with James? Is he actually writing some new songs with you?
So yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, and I believe him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I talked to him. I saw him. I guess it was last year when we had that gig. We did a little. We kind of got in there and did like a little 5-song set just to give people a old taste. You know what I mean? Let them know that this one I'm still planning the big reunion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we snuck in there, and some people found out about it, and there's quite a few people there, but we didn't really try to, market it or nothing, or you know what I mean. So tell anybody, but a lot of people found out anyways. So, but I saw James there. I haven't seen him in years, probably back from the Juggernaut days, and he's still good, man.
Yeah,
he's still cool. Yeah. I love chatting with him. We fucking chat when we get together, man. We chat. We just keep chatting, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got a good mind. And he's got a great mind and stuff. And actually, he wrote all the lyrics on the first album. James did, all of them. Harlan wrote 0. You know what I mean?
That is interesting. The one error that I looked up on the cover is that the little stars that they put in the back cover, and it lists
Huh?
James Sitchell lyrics and the star names except for this song.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. Yeah, Scott wrote. I think he already had the lyrics for 2 songs.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember which one they were. Yeah, but Scott wrote 2 songs that he already had before, and then when we got Juggernaut got back to it was like from other bands, and then when Juggernaut got back to James wrote all the rest of them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I only through my own desire, we were taking photographs one time for the album, for the back of the album and stuff, promotional pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, everybody started walking away. I'm like, no, come back here. And they're like, for what? I said, we got to do this. And I brought James in. So I don't even have one. I need to finally see if James got one. Somebody's got him. There's a picture of 5 people in the Juggernaut picture. And the 5th person was James. Because he wrote all the lyrics on this album. He would come to every single practice. He was, to me, I consider him the 5th member.
Yep.
So I actually had them take pictures with James in it. Nobody else even thought about that. But I was like, yeah, James deserves that much credit. So there's a few pictures out there with 5 members in Juggernaut because I consider James the 5th member.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I guess that's how good we get along too, though, man. Yeah, I like James, man. He's super down to earth and shit, man.
Yeah. My dad knows James. He told me that James is like a party animal at the time when he was hanging around with him.
Yeah. Like I said, we all were, I guess. Well, except for Bobby. Bobby didn't drink or do drugs. But everybody else, Harlan used to get drunk. Scott was a drinker. I was a drinker. Mm-hmm. Except that I did the drugs too. You know what I mean? The pot stuff. So. And yeah, James, he drank too. I mean, we were a party group. You know what I mean? We didn't do all the hard drugs though. That's a good thing. Yeah, no, I'm glad that nobody else did drugs in the band. That was fucking cool. You know, all my girlfriends, for the most part, all my girlfriends in my life never did drugs. Nobody did. You know what I mean? I don't really like that. Yeah. Kiss was my. Ace Frehley is why I wanted to play guitar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got here from Spain. I was 13, and I never heard of albums. I never heard of Kiss. I never heard of heavy. I never heard of, my mom used to listen to Spanish music, flamenco music. My dad listened to a little bit of country, and that was all my music I was growing up with. When I moved here, we went to the BX on bass, and there were all these albums, and I didn't know what they were. And I started looking at them, and like, oh, the music. Oh, okay. My dad said, well, you can pick out one album. You know, pick one out and I'll buy it. So me and my brother started digging around, and then I found one, and I went, Rick, come here. And he ran over, and he goes, ooh. And we took it to my dad, and my dad's like, Jesus Christ. And he bought it, and it was Kiss Alive 2. It was Kiss Alive 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if I picked out a Journey album, my life would have changed. But I picked out Kiss Alive 2, and that took me to Triumph and Ted Nugent, and then Judas Priest, and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was off from that first album. I was off because of Kiss. So yeah, I love Kiss, man. I've seen them like 15 times, you know, with and without their makeup. So yeah, man, I love Kiss, dude. That's the greatest gimmick in the world, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I actually got to meet Metallica one time,
and
I smoked a joint with Cliff Burton, the bass player, the original bass player, before he died. When we died in the bus crash.
Cliff Burton, yeah.
Yeah, I smoked a joint with him like a month before he died.
Damn. How was he when you met him?
Oh, he was good. He was cool, man. He was really cool. I started talking to James first, James Hetfield, and I told him smoke a joint, and he goes, no, I don't do that. He goes, but man, go find Cliff, dude. He'll fucking eat you up. So I went and smoked a joint with him and shit. Hung out. He was fucking down. He's a straight up down to earth dude, man. You know what I mean? They all were actually. They didn't have their big head yet. Because this was on Ride the Lightning when I met them, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So they were just starting to grow. Yeah, their identities just started growing. So they didn't have big heads or nothing yet, dude. You know what I mean? They were just coming off the first album. The second one was starting to pick up steam, and So they were all pretty down to earth, but they all turned into a piece of shit after that. I mean,
Yeah. After the Black Album, they turned into they really turned.
High and Mighty, High and Mighty were God's kind of thing. Yeah, no, fuck you, get on. So I won't listen to any Metallica, but yeah. And after I spoke to Joint, I came back and James Hetfield goes, "Hey, you want to play some Space Invaders?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not very good." And he laughs. He goes, "Neither am I." So he put in a quarter for both of us, and I think I got 10,000, and he got like 1.2 million.
Was it actually on the arcade, or was it that on a video?
Yeah, there was an arcade back then. They still have the arcade Space Invader. But what I found out like 10 years later is that he's a Space Invader fanatic, and he actually has one that he takes with him. And he has, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But he told me he didn't know how to play, and he whipped my ass, like big time, like by 1.1 million points. You know what I mean? He whipped my ass, dude. Yeah, but that's his favorite game, so he kicked my ass. I saw it in person, dude. You know what I mean? He kicked my ass, dude. That was pretty good. He just kept going and going. I was like, 1.2 million. Wow, that's pretty good. But yeah, they were cool back then, man. You're all right. I met a lot of people. I met Ronnie James Dio too.
Ronnie James Dio. Oh.
I met Randy Rose. That was cool.
Can you do you actually have a story to tell with Ronnie?
No, not really, man. He's a down to earth dude too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're just kind of nonchalant chatting and stuff backstage. You know what I mean? And yeah, he's actually like a really quiet dude. So I didn't talk to him too much. You know what I mean? I mean, I can tell he's trying to keep to himself, or it was after the show, he wanted to get ready. So I talked to him a little bit, maybe about 10, 15 minutes, and I just let him be. But yeah, he's a real straight up dude, man, too. He's a really good G. We actually got to we opened up for King Diamond or Merciful Fate. I mean, yeah, was it Merciful Fate or King Diamond? I forgot. No, we opened up for King Diamond one time, and then the next day we had a pool party with both bands and shit. You know what I mean? So I got to hang out with him.
Oh wow!
Like all day.
Was he actually on? Yeah. Was King Diamond actually on makeup, or was he off makeup?
He was off makeup. Yeah, he didn't wear any of his makeup. Yeah, he didn't wear none of that. You know, he still looked the same though, because he still had that beard. You know what I mean? Still wore the sunglasses. He still had the earrings. He just didn't have the makeup on, so it still looked like King Diamond. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a little dude though. He's not much taller than I am.
Was he smoking at the time with you guys?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, we sat there. Me and him sat there because this is right in the middle when I was starting to study all that philosophies and stuff. And he was, he was into what he was, and I was studying some of that stuff too. And for reference, and so we sat there for about an hour and a half just talking about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So we spent a lot of time. I mean, I remember us chain smoking and shit. You know what I mean? He smoked as many as I did.
Jeez. I just thought I would ask him that. I just thought I would ask.
I don't think he drank though. He didn't drink, but he smoked cigarettes though. You know what I mean?
I just thought I would ask that because in the television show that they were actually talking about him smoking, and he actually quit. He actually quits now because of the throat.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
His throat. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, he changed. He smoked a lot back then.
Yeah. Maybe because of all the smokes, that's why it fucked up his throat. How was that second album recorded?
Just standard. We went again. We went to the same. Same studio we recorded the first one at. But we took our time with this one. I think it took us a couple days. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And yeah, we actually stayed in a hotel room one night, and so yeah. And there was actually, man, there was nothing crazy about that, man. We were all pretty professional compared to the first album. We were all drinking and shit and trying to record, and
Yeah.
That was a hell of a time. But yeah, this one, man, we didn't. I think I was the only one that was drinking a beer. I had a couple of beers, not even like that. We had a cooler on the first album, you know what I mean? But the second one, I think I had 2 beers and a couple of beers, and nobody else drank. And it was just a really professional atmosphere, man. Lackluster to say the least. You know what I mean? Nothing really happened. I mean, it was pretty easy, man.
You were just trying to focus on recording it instead of.
Yeah, we became professional. You know what I mean? It was a professional atmosphere. You know, it was more. We were more concerned about what we were recording than we were on the first album. You know, like I said, half my leads on the fucking first. What happened on the second album too? or off the top of my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Did you actually promote any shows for the second album?
No, not for the second album. No.
Oh.
And that's what me and the bass player are sorry about, man. We never got to do at least one show with Steve. You know what I mean? He died a couple of years ago.
He died in 2006, for what my research.
Huh?
He died. Steve Cooper died in 2006.
Yes, yeah, that's right. 7 years ago. Yeah, it's been quite a few years now. I guess longer than I thought. I thought it was 8 to 10, but yeah, it's been longer than that.
According from how he died, he died from.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But he had, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure that diabetes did that. I know diabetes has a lot of different faces on it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get diabetes, like a low blood sugar thing, it could take you anywhere. You can get amputated. You get organ transplant. You know, there's just so many things that can come out of it on the bad end of diabetes, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he had it really bad, I guess. But I'm not sure it had something to do with his kidneys, but I think it did.
Ooh.
He was really bad at taking his. I had to babysit him. During that second album. He would make sure he took his insulin. You know what I mean? Because he wouldn't do it sometimes.
Ooh.
So I'd have to force him. I actually had to go get the needle, get his insulin, put it in the needle, and I would hand it to him. I'd go to the bathroom, and he would have to fucking go. You know, I'd beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? If he didn't take it. So that's one thing about that the recording of the second album that I do remember. I had to babysit him about taking his insulin shots. You know what I mean? On time.
I would imagine that it's probably a pain.
He's really bad. He's really bad. I talked to his mom before that, and his mom said he's really bad at it too. And yeah, she was right. I mean, he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to take it. You know, and he had a bunch of reasons why he did it. You know what I mean? One was he wanted to feel normal, that he didn't have to take it. Other was that he could, no, I can go without it. And you know, I guess he had a lot of excuses, but I wouldn't let him do that, man. On the hour, every time he needed to take it, I had it ready for him, and I was like, here you go. And he would do it all, thank God. You know what I mean?
I was about to ask, what was Steve Cooper's personality?
He's a real guy. He's really down to earth, dude. He's I don't want to say quiet, but he wasn't loud. He wasn't boisterous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's always laughing and shit, man. He always had a positive energy about him. You know what I mean? He was always cracking jokes and laughing and shit. I never saw him mad, ever. You know what I mean? Ever. So
he never. Yeah, he did not even got mad when he was taking his medication.
No, when I was giving it to him, no, he didn't have a fucking choice. I was the one that was mad.
Oh.
Because he's giving me a hard time about taking his insulin. So I was already mad for him not taking it. So what is he going to do by now? Nothing. He wasn't that type of guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to fight me. He was going to argue with me or nothing. You know what I mean? He knew what I was doing was for the better, for his health. And he was like, okay. And I know he didn't want to, but he went and did it. Every time I gave him the needle, here, you got to go do this. And he would go and do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he didn't give me no shit. He didn't give me no problems about it. You know what I mean? Sometimes he'd let it go, and I'd look, and it's like, damn, it's like an hour past your insulin time, and he wouldn't tell me nothing. So I'd get mad about that, you know what I mean? He was trying to sneak past me, you know what I mean? So he wouldn't say nothing. Yeah, he would let it go, and as long as he could, but then I'd finally catch him, and I'd make him do it, so that was pretty cool, though, man. Yeah, he was a good guy, man. He's down to earth. I thought I was down to earth, but he was really down to earth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was a gentle dude, man. You know what I mean? He was really gentle. He always just wanted to laugh and shit, man. Never raised his voice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that dude, man. I love Steve, man. He's a badass dude. We come over and hang out all the time. Just me and him at my house, and and just talk about music all night, and just difference too, man. You know what I mean? He was cool. He was really cool. I'm sorry we never did a gig with him though. That sucks.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, I think that would have took us to another level. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have taken Juggernaut another level. That's what I was about to ask. Well, how come the band has to break up?
Oh, because I told you everybody was after the first album, everybody was going their own way. Harding already had plans to go to Los Angeles to work in Hollywood. Bobby was already about to go tour with Judas Priest. Scott was about to move to Austin. Yeah, and that's the only reason. I mean, because we were going our separate. Everybody's life started to happen, and they were all moving. You know what I mean? Except for me. And yeah, that's all it was.
So life happened at the end.
Yeah, life happened. That's what I call it. Life happened, where you have to go move. You got a new job. You know what I mean? That's life happening, and that's what happened. But me, Bobby, and Scott decided to do the second album, but Harding didn't want to. He wanted to get out to Los Angeles, so that's why we got Steve. So yeah, so I'm glad we all decided to. But we knew after we recorded the second album that we weren't going to tour or we weren't going to do gigs or nothing. We were going to just go on our ways after that. But at least have that second album under our belt. You know what I mean? So we did it. I'm glad we did, man. I'm glad we did, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It shows I think it shows a little bit different side of Juggernaut. It sounds the same, but it's a little bit more mature. You know what I mean? Maybe even a little more technical, actually. You know what I mean? And people, like I said earlier, man, people split down the middle, which was their favorite one, the first one and the second one. Because they're two different styles, basically. It still sounds like Juggernaut. Don't get me wrong. It's still Juggernaut, but like I said, the second album's a little more mature than the first one. The first one's real raw, and so everybody's got their own opinion about it, but it's split down the middle, 50-50, basically.